So how do you keep everyone motivated toward the goal?
Because, well, I think one of the ways we keep each other motivated is we keep looking at our mission. What is our mission? What is our vision for the company? And that brings us back to the reality we have to be motivated. We have to accomplish this goal because this is what we set out to do.
Okay, all right. So you keep refocusing on the mission.
Right.
All right, now, I always do this to all of my guests. I think it's very important that we don't help raise workaholics. I think it's so important for everyone to be balanced. And of course, we all know that it's important to work, but it's important to have balance in one's life. So I'm going to put you here. And what are some of the things that you like to do?
Well, for both of us, as a matter of fact, I believe I can answer for my partner. But our focus, first of all, there's a center. And the center of our focus, of course, is God. And everything else falls right in line. As long as we keep God in the center of everything, everything else comes in place. My leisure time, I like to walk. I do a lot of walking. I probably walk 5 miles a day. But during my walks, I'm also meditating. I'm also doing a lot of thinking. So that's my time to really think.
And I think, Dr. Franklin, you bringing up thinking is so important. I wonder how many people realize that sitting in front of the television is not a great thing. And it's not a great thing because we know that if you are sitting in front of a television all the time, that your brain is not working like it should be.
Right.
And that, a lot of times that people deteriorate because they're only looking at the television. So, I think it's great that you let us know we can go for walks, we can meditate, that we can focus on God, that we have a relationship with God. So I think that those are interesting points that you share. Now, Ms. Lopez, what about yourself? What are some other things that you like to do?
Well, I read a lot. And, of course, I tell her my favorite thing to do. I do listen to the radio because I have to listen to NPR News from the morning until a certain time. So I listen to that. That is just one of my things that I like to listen. I guess it's politics, a lot of it. And that's pretty much what I do. I do walk sometimes, but not with her. She walks too far. And, I do exercise.
I'm sorry. Could you go ahead and continue? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I do exercise. I do some walking, but not as much as she does.
Okay. Well, I wanted to piggyback on what you said because you were saying that you listen to the news. And I think this is an important point because, as you know, keeping up with what's going on is so very important. I think it's important because how can you have a business and how could you function in a society if you are unknowledgeable about what's going on? So you've hit upon two things. One, cultural literacy, and also a literacy of our society, because certainly as we age and as anyone grows older, the society is making changes. So we always have to be in a constant flux so that we know what's going on, what's changing about our society. So that's a great point. And of course, I like the fact that you both let me know, Ms. Lopez as well as Dr. Franklin, that you get along well together, you work well together, but yet you're your own individual persons, and that you have things that you share in common, but you also have things that are different. And I think this is the value of our society, is that we can have commonality, but we also have individuality. And so I think it's very important to realize that we are always our own person, but we also belong, we are members of a group. And in my experience, I try to share with our young people every day. You can be a genius, but if you can't get along with anybody, you're going to have a problem holding a job.
Yes.
Do you work with young people also in the community, or do you have occasion to, share with young people? Are there any internships available, or do you think you would ever consider doing something of that nature?
Well, at the moment, we don't have any internships.
Okay.
However, that is something that we've talked about in terms of giving back to the community, talking with the students, going into the various schools, particularly middle schools, and talking to our 7th and 8th graders, those that are 13 and 14-year-olds, because they're right in the middle. They're going through a lot themselves in terms of their own identity. So we want to go back in and mentor some of those students and talk about the various programs that are out there for them.
Okay, well that sounds really excellent. I think that it has just been just wonderful to have you both on the show today. I'm hoping to have you back on the show another time. To just summarize what we have done today, you ladies have made it very clear that you have to have a passion about your business. You own a business called Support Staffers LLC, where you train workers to do an excellent job, and that in particular you have worked in training secretaries for working with attorneys, and you mentioned intellectual property. Yes. And I think this is important. Could you please explain what intellectual property is? Because I think we may have some individuals in the television audience who really don't understand what intellectual property is.
Well, intellectual property comprises of copyright law,
okay,
patents and trademarks. Any and everything that we do has something to do with intellectual property, whether we're looking at this vase or a box of tissues. They will all have a trademark, which means that we have to respect it. It's the law that we follow it. And I think it's a very interesting field for anyone to go into, whether you are the clerk, the secretary, or the attorney.
Okay. Well, I again want to thank you, Dr. Franklin, Dr. Joann Franklin.
Thank you.
And also Miss Alfreda Parker Lopes. This has been wonderful, and I hope you come back again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This has been an educational moment. I'm Dr. Pat Dingle. We have a wonderful time on this show all the time. Please join us again.